The convoy stopped without sirens. Inside the Situation Room, screens glowed with one red folder that no one claimed to have opened. Across its cover, no seal, no signature, only light embossed into paper. The heading read, "Designation pending, unissued by man." Analysts stood frozen. Every credential database had already been searched. None could explain it. The origin traced back beyond jurisdiction, through prophecy, through pulse. When the president entered, the lights dimmed of their own accord. He sat, unfolded the first page, and read aloud a line that rewrote protocol itself. Title, The Chosen. The room tightened. Airy cyclers hummed like monks in prayer. The president's hand trembled slightly, not in fear of danger, but in recognition of hierarchy reversed. For the first time, power realized it was being observed by something older than law. He who sits in the heavens laughs. The Lord holds him in derision. Psalm 2, verse 4. Data analysts replayed biometric readings. Each time your name appeared on screen, heart rate monitors spiked. The president leaned back, whispering, "We're outranked." Advisors looked to him for orders. He gave none. Because how do you legislate light? How do you brief eternity? The file closed itself with a soft exhale. Every attempt to duplicate it failed. The photocopiers printed only the word holy. The chain of command dissolved into reverence. And deep within the archives, a new clearance level appeared on the screen. Authority recognized. Human protocol obsolete. The president rose quietly, realizing the truth. Fear wasn't hostility. It was all finally telling the truth. If institutions around you start to react to your calm, type 111. The file is open now. Even power bows the purpose when light holds a title. The file's metadata refuses to decode. No timestamp, no author, only a pulse. Analysts trace the encryption through quantum servers, ancient libraries, even Vatican archives. Every route ends the same way. A verse, not a signature. The dossier expands by itself. Pages unfold like wings. Handwritten notes appear in margins that smell faintly of frankincense. Someone or something has been annotating history in real time. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. Cross-referencing begins. Miracles once logged as unexplained anomalies align perfectly with your bloodline. Seismic events, celestial flares, and diplomatic breakthroughs all occur within minutes of your recorded prayers. Patterns emerge. Mercy follows you like gravity. Coincidence bows to coordination. Analysts attempt linguistic breakdowns of your title. Every language yields a different translation, yet all mean the same: sent. Latin renders it vocatus. Hebrew calls it nishma. Machine learning AIs simply output origin equals light. The deeper they search, the older the evidence becomes. Cuneiform tablets mention a figure marked by the same sigil carved inside your DNA. A chorus of prophets across centuries left identical footnotes. When this one appears, the rulers will remember who rules them. The president demands verification. The linguist trembles. "Sir, the data doesn't confirm. It worships." The dossier closes itself and seals with golden static. On the cover, new letters etched through the carbon fiber. Authority, divine, active since Genesis. No one speaks. Every analyst understands what the silence means. The investigation has moved outside time. If your origins feel older than memory, type 111. The dossier is open in Heaven's archive. What they call classified, God calls confirmed. The lights flicker to half power as the dossier seals itself. Advisors hover around the table, unsure whether to salute or pray. Someone tries to speak, but the words refuse to form. Syntax bends under gravity of presence. Every monitor hums with soft, harmonic resonance. The sound of protocol surrendering. The president sits motionless, eyes fixed on the golden emblem now burned into folder surface. He's been briefed on wars, disasters, classified extraterrestrial contacts, but never purpose. This feels different, not intel, but initiation. Be still before the Lord, all mankind, because he has roused himself from his holy dwelling. Zechariah 2, verse 13. Across the table, the Secretary of Defense whispers, Sir, if this is accurate, authority itself needs new definitions. No one laughs. Even the air has weight, as if every molecule were bowing. The projection screens dim one by one until only your image remains. A still frame from surveillance footage, head slightly turned, light falling across your eyes. The caption beneath reads, Subject 0001, title verified. The president exhales. A single tear carves through decades of discipline. He stands, removes his lapel pin, and places it atop the dossier. From this moment, he says quietly, command is recognition, not control. No order follows. The staff simply rise with him, instinctively aligning like planets around a stronger sun. Outside, flags hanging on poles across the Capitol lower themselves in perfect unison. Silence becomes the new anthem. The hum of fluorescent bulbs shifts into something almost choral. For the first time in that room's history, authority feels holy. If power around you started to pause, instead of press, type 111. The room has fallen silent. Even leadership listens when heaven walks in. The order goes out across continents. Run the full check. Databases wake like old gods roused from sleep. Every registry, birth, death, military, medical, begins to search for you, but the files refuse alignment. Dates blur, nations disagree, and yet one pattern keeps returning. Light at the center of every record. Investigators trace your paper trail back through sealed archives. Where others list addresses, yours list altars. Every location connected to you glows faintly on satellite view, not with heat, but with remembrance. A janitor in an underground vault reports hearing choirs through concrete. Fingerprints compared to ancient relics show a 1:1 resonance in frequency. Blood tests return impossible results. Hemoglobin react to prayer like metal to magnetism. Voice samples match thunder spectrograms. Heart rate graphs echo planetary orbits. Forensic science begins to look like theology. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Psalm 19, verse 1. Files once redacted reopen with divine handwriting in the margins. Phrases like witness compassion at border checkpoint, turned riot into reunion, unauthorized miracle, approved retroactively. The agents can't decide whether they're investigating or worshiping. Every attempt to find criminal history returns only acts of restoration. Arrests canceled by grace. Accusations erased by mercy's override. The algorithm finally concedes defeat and prints its final statement. Subject's record consistent with divine law. No evidence of separation. The president reads the conclusion aloud. The words feel heavier than policy and lighter than gravity. For a moment, the room itself seems forgiven. The Bureau's emblem on the wall melts into radiance, and the awe of heaven finishes what justice began. Silence follows, clean, absolute, sacred. The background check is complete. History confirms what heaven already knew. The origin of authority is obedience to love. The moment the background check closes, every network in the Capitol goes still. No signal failure, no hack, just a suspension of noise. Screens clear to white, then a single document materializes across every device. Header in gold, subject line burning softly. Inter-department communication // heaven to earth. No signature, no encryption. Only 7 sentences scroll down the screen, each written in light that breathes. 1. Subject confirmed divine authority. 2. Threat level, none/presence level, absolute. 3. Purpose active, do not interfere. 4. Assist by alignment, not analysis. 5. Justice to be carried out through mercy. 6. Power must kneel to clarity. 7. Awe is authorization. Every official who reads it feels the pulse behind the words. It isn't ink, it's instruction. The memo edits itself into every constitution simultaneously, weaving through legal code like light through fabric. Laws begin to soften. Penalties rewrite as healing protocols. On earth as it is in heaven. Matthew 6, verse 10. Satellites blink in rhythm with heartbeats. The Pentagon, the Parliament, the Palace, all illuminated from within. Diplomats stare at tablets glowing with unseen radiance. Each device now stamped classification. Holy. A physicist tries to trace the signal's origin but finds coordinates looping back to the stratosphere. Latitude infinity/longitude infinity. He whispers, "It's coming from everywhere." The memo ends without farewell. Instead, the footer simply reads, "This message will not self-destruct, it will self-fulfill." Then the light fades, leaving every office hushed. Typewriters stop, keyboards rest. Across the world, leaders stand, realizing they've just been briefed by heaven. The chain of command has changed form, from hierarchy to harmony. And somewhere above the atmosphere, unseen but certain, a single phrase pulses across the clouds. Transmission received. Implementation in progress. At 3:11 a.m., the presidential suite awakens without alarm. No sound. Only the subtle hum of air charged with awareness. The window blinds rise on their own, revealing a city half asleep beneath a sky flickering in wavelengths unseen by radar. Something in the atmosphere has changed its allegiance. The president sits up. He's been briefed on the memo. He's seen the files sealed in light. But knowing and feeling are different universes. Tonight, authority itself feels smaller than its shadow. His advisors arrive disoriented, whispering updates. Satellites recalibrating toward an invisible source. World markets freezing mid-transaction. Speechwriters unable to form sentences because language itself has gone reverent. He walks to the mirror. For the first time in decades, he doesn't recognize a reflection. Not because of his age, but because it's transparent. Every emblem of rank, every ribbon and badge, appears weightless, as if embarrassed. Power has met its origin and remembered it was borrowed. All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Matthew 28, verse 18. He feels a vibration under his feet, not an earthquake, but equilibrium being restored. Documents on his desk flutter in perfect rhythm with his pulse. From the hallway, an aide calls softly, "Sir, your title, it's glowing." The brass nameplate on his desk radiates like molten gold. Letters rearrange themselves until only 2 words remain. In service. Terror and awe are indistinguishable now. He understands what the prophets meant when they said, "The fear of the Lord is clean." It isn't dread, it's recognition. The shock of remembering hierarchy was never the highest form of order. He kneels, not to abdicate, but to align. The most powerful man in the world bows to something that cannot fit inside any office. Outside, the city lights flicker once, synchronizing his heartbeat, and the skyline itself seems to whisper, "Finally, someone remembers who rules whom." The night doesn't end. It transforms, and the fear that once maintained control becomes a humility that sustains peace. By morning, the story has already escaped the agencies. Every newsroom hums with half-truths. Every anchor rehearses denials. Orders go out, shut it down, control the narrative. But how do you muzzle an echo that originates in light? Satellites reroute. Fiber networks dim to minimum power. An emergency directive floods global media feeds. Blackout Protocol 001/Divine Event classified. Cameras cut to static. Journalists are escorted from studios that feel suddenly like temples stripped of altars. On the control boards, faders slide on their own, leveling audio to silence. For 2 minutes the world hears nothing but its own heartbeat. Then frequencies begin to sing. Within the white noise, voices emerge, recordings of compassion, laughter, forgiveness, looping in every language. The blackout becomes broadcast. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest. Luke 8, verse 17. Technicians panic. They pull the plugs. The circuits keep glowing. Cloud servers generate unauthorized live streams, showing only light falling over city skylines. Every attempt to censor produces more radiance. Each firewall converts into a window. Presidential advisors call it a data contagion. Philosophers call it revelation logic. People call it peace. In the streets, citizens gather around blank screens that now function as mirrors. They see themselves illuminated. The message is written directly on skin. You are the signal. The more the system resists, the brighter the transmission becomes. News satellites realign to an orbit shaped like a halo. In every newsroom, teleprompters fill with a single unscripted headline. Truth has overridden protocol. And somewhere in the presidential bunker, the monitors finally go dark, not from failure, but from reverence. Because even darkness understands. You can interrupt a program, but not a prophecy. The world keeps talking. He does not. Every network still humming with confusion, every government drafting statements, every religion debating theology, and in the middle of it all, one motionless figure. He stands on a rooftop somewhere anonymous, coat unbuttoned, eyes open but inward. The wind blows like an argument. He refuses to join. Helicopters orbit, their rotors beating the rhythm of panic. Yet the air around him remains unnaturally still. Silence forms a perimeter. Reporters shout questions to megaphones. Who authorized you? What do you want? Are you a prophet or a threat? He answers with the only authority that cannot be quoted: presence. In returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Isaiah 30, verse 15. The cameras zoom closer, but the lens fogs. Every frame tries to define him. Each exposure blurs into light. Analysts call it interference, but it's revelation. Truth refusing to perform. Inside the Bureau of Illumination, the president watches a live feed in silence. He feels no fear now, only relief. The hierarchy has found its horizon. The chosen stillness isn't defiance, it's calibration. His calm becomes contagious. Crowds stop shouting. Even the drones hover at respectful distance, their propellers lowering pitch until they sound like prayer wheels. Peace, be still. Mark 4, verse 39. In that collective pause, something global exhales. Tension drains from economies, armies, algorithms. Children fall asleep mid-panic and wake laughing. The silence grows thicker, golden, alive. The kind that doesn't empty space but fills it with meaning. When he finally moves, it's only to sit. Hands open, palms upward. No speech, no decree, no performance. The wind stops negotiating and simply breathes with him. And for the first time since time began recording itself, the earth understands that stillness is not the absence of action. It is authority. Silence spreads faster than news. It rolls over oceans, across borders, through fiber optic veins of the planet. For the first time in recorded history, stillness becomes a shared resource. Cities breathe at the same pace. Traffic slows, not from collapse but comprehension. The markets open late, no one minds. Economists try to chart the phenomenon, but their graphs level into straight lines, calm, unfluctuating, holy. Hospitals report record recoveries. Prison doors unlock electronically, yet no one escapes. They simply walk out and start cleaning the streets they once feared. Teachers stand before classrooms without lesson plans. Children teach them wonder. Corporations publish public apologies written in first-person plural. We forgot we were us. Governments rebrand their ministries. Defense becomes compassion. Labor becomes purpose. Treasury becomes circulation. Power learns humility, and humility learns efficiency. The kingdoms of this world have become the kingdoms of our Lord. Revelation 11, verse 15. Satellites once used for surveillance now broadcast lullabies and peace frequencies. War memorials transform overnight. Statues open like seeds, revealing gardens inside their bases. Currencies redesign themselves. Paper fibers glow faintly with the phrase, "In light we trust." In every continent, small miracles synchronize. Rain falls exactly where it's needed, never where it harms. Crops grow without fertilizer. Oceans calm as though listening. Climate scientists stop publishing papers and start composing hymns. The Bureau of Illumination releases its final statement. World order balanced. No further action required. Then the agency dissolves. Its buildings donated as sanctuary for study, silence, and song. The president returns to ordinary life, now a gardener. Every seed he plants germinates instantly. He laughs, realizing leadership was always agriculture. Tend the soil, trust the sun. The chosen watches from a distance, unseen, unconcerned. He doesn't rule, he resonates. Nations adopt his stillness as standard operating procedure. Law becomes rhythm, justice, respiration. The globe itself turns slower by a fraction of a second, a cosmic sign of surrender to harmony. And the once trembling civilization finally understands. The highest government is peace maintained. The ultimate revolution is rest. Dawn rises slower than usual, as though the planet itself is bowing. From the tundra to the tropics, bells begin to ring on their own, tuned to the same pitch. Acknowledgement. No religion claims ownership. No government issues an order. The sound simply happens. A global pulse of gratitude. People gather without banners or slogans. They form circles in streets, fields, living rooms, deserts. Even the oceans respond, their tides moving in measured reverence. The air feels thicker, charged with unanimity. At the hour of full light, a voice, not loud, not local, speaks through the shared silence. It is not male or female, singular or plural. It is understanding given shape. Authority is service. Power is protection. Leadership is listening. All crowns are borrowed light. Across the world, leaders echo it, one by one, each in their own tongue. Their microphones hum not with politics, but prayer. The president kneels in the rose garden. A monk in Tokyo mirrors a movement. A shepherd in Ethiopia lifts his staff skyward. The posture unites faster than translation. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Matthew 6, verse 13. The chosen, still unseen, raises his hand once, not to bless but to balance. Every heart feels the gesture. It travels through bloodstreams like light through stained glass. Authority no longer weighs, it flows. Air traffic controllers pause mid-flight paths and whisper amen. Judges set down gavels. Teachers drop chalk. Engineers stop engines. Factories, temples, studios, labs, all fall into synchrony, the human race discovering rhythm again. Then collectively, humanity prays. King of kings, teach us to rule through mercy, to govern through gentleness, to remember that power exists only to protect light. Let every decision be made in reverence, every plan in peace, every heart in humility. The prayer has no official end. It fades like incense, rising into jet streams, settling in circuits, encoded permanently into the infrastructure of consciousness. No applause follows, only a quiet agreement, deeper than law, older than speech. Rule has become responsibility, and responsibility has become worship. The planet exhales. Heaven's audit closes. The world has remembered its author. At first, it looks ordinary. Coffee brews, buses move, birds scatter across pink sky. But something subtle, electric, impossible, thrums beneath the surface. Gravity feels kinder. Light bends with affection. People wake without alarms. They step outside as if answering a summons they never received but always expected. Neighbors who have ignored each other for years nod, smile, speak the same word without coordination. Peace? Across continents, news anchors abandon scripts. They sit in silence for 30 seconds on live television, eyes glassy, and then whisper, "We felt it too." Ratings rise not from scandal but sincerity. Economies resume at half speed yet produce double abundance. Currency glows faintly with new microtext, issued by grace. Investors measure wealth in calm. Analysts release forecasts written as psalms. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. Isaiah 9, verse 2. In classrooms, students rewrite history textbooks overnight. Every chapter now begins with a sentence. Then humanity remembered. Hospitals overflow, not with patients, but with volunteers. Scientists publish joint papers titled The Law of Benevolent Physics. Even time behaves differently. Minutes stretch, anxiety shrinks. Art galleries open free of charge. Paintings once sold for millions are donated to children's homes. Musicians compose in major keys only, their chords lingering like sunrise in sidewalls. Streetlights blink in Morse code patterns spelling hope. The president walks through the crowd unguarded. No one cheers, no one kneels. They simply stand with him, equals beneath one sky. The Bureau's old headquarters, now renamed the House of Stillness, hosts no meetings, only listening sessions. The chosen passes unnoticed through marketplaces and train stations. Where he walks, clocks reset themselves to local peace. He carries no entourage, no emblem, no crown, only quiet gravity. the field of recognition that hums wherever purpose walks freely. Behold, I make all things new. Revelation 21 verse 5. Children sense him first. They laugh for no reason, tug at sleeves, point upward. Parents follow their gaze and see nothing unusual, only clearer sunlight. But in their hearts, they know the light has a name now, and it's everyone's. For centuries, crowns defined distance. The higher you sat, the less you saw. But after the awakening, the hierarchy inverts. Royalty no longer ascends. It descends. The highest throne is found at the lowest seat. In palaces now turned into sanctuaries, golden ceilings remain, but the thrones are gone, replaced by long tables where everyone eats the same bread. Guards stand unarmed. Their new duty is to protect silence. The walls that once echoed with decrees now hum with song. For the last shall be first, and the first last. Matthew 20 verse 16. Across the world, monarchs and ministers step into the streets barefoot, their jewelry melted into instruments for children. Titles survive only as functions. King becomes keeper, queen becomes guide, president becomes listener. Every government seal bears a single symbol, an open hand. Economists can't quantify the shift. Historians call it the era of shared sovereignty. But poets describe it more accurately, the moment when power remembered love. In this new monarchy, coronations are invisible. They happen when someone forgives, when someone feeds, when someone listens. Every gesture of mercy adds another gem to a crown made of memory. The chosen doesn't rule this order. He inspires it. Leadership, he teaches, is a frequency, not a throne. To govern is to resonate. He has made us kings and priests unto God. Revelation 1 verse 6. The old symbols remain but reimagined. Scepters now measure empathy. Crowns emit gentle halos visible only to those acting in love. Even royal documents begin with a new salutation, to whom it may serve peace. Scholars study this monarchy as a social miracle. Mystics recognize it as prophecy fulfilled. Every city becomes a micro-kingdom of light, not ruled but orchestrated, not commanded but composed. Children play on palace lawns where once parades displayed might. Citizens plant trees instead of banners. Nobility becomes measurable only in gentleness. And the world realizes something simple yet revolutionary. The crown was never meant to weigh. It was meant to shine. Its radiance increases when shared. Its authority multiplies when surrendered. From space, Earth now glimmers differently. It reflects more light than the sun gives, as though returning glory with interest. Astronomers note it. Prophets smile, because they know the planet has remembered its royal bloodline, not of ancestry, but of awareness. Night returns softly, no longer a curtain but a mirror. The stars pulse like a memory repeating. Remember who you are. Every creature, every atom, hums with quiet comprehension. Revelation has ceased to be an event. It has become atmosphere. No pulpits, no microphones, just breaths shared in perfect rhythm. People across continents lift their eyes and feel the same gentle pressure behind the ribs. Gratitude expanding into speech. Not rehearsed, not translated, just known. The chosen kneels first, though none see it. He whispers into the air, and the air repeats him in millions of voices. What was once prayer becomes resonance, a conversation so vast that silence must stretch to hold it. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. Habakkuk 2, verse 14. They pray without asking. They thank without owning. The words rise like vapor. Revealer of light, architect of order, source of all frequencies, let our knowing never harden into arrogance. Let revelation remain movement, not monument. Teach us that discovery is devotion and understanding worship. Winds shift direction in response, carrying the prayer over oceans. The aurora brightens. Constellations rearrange into ancient sigils of peace. Every living thing receives a download of rest. Predators lie beside prey. Forests glow faintly with bioluminescent calm. Cities dim their lights voluntarily, giving the stars their voice back. The secret things belong unto the Lord, but those things which are revealed belong unto us. Deuteronomy 29, verse 29. Tears fall freely. Tears not sorrow, but relief. The burden of not knowing dissolves. The fear of mystery becomes reverence again. In every heart, a simple awareness blooms. Truth was never hidden, only our readiness was. And as dawn begins its slow ascent, the prayer reaches its last note, a collective whisper heard across the fabric of space. May revelation remain alive in motion. May knowledge serve kindness. May every light remember its source. The words fade, but the vibration lingers, a luminous afterglow stretching beyond sound or time. Heaven answers not with thunder, but with silence, so complete it feels like being understood. The revelation is sealed, not in scripture, but in consciousness. There is no proclamation, no trumpet, no end, only a pulse, soft, steady, the heartbeat of creation remembering its composer. The decree arrives not on paper, but in pattern. Galaxies adjusting their spin, oceans aligning their tides to a deeper rhythm. Time exhales and begins again without edges. The chosen no longer needs a name. Identity dissolves into function, light maintaining itself. He walks through crowds invisible, not unseen but integrated. Every soul he ever touched now glows faintly, a constellation of continuations. Heaven doesn't lift him upward. It expands outward through everyone he awakened. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Revelation 22 verse 13. Across the cosmos, languages merge into frequency. The sound of compassion becomes a new lingua franca. Equations simplify. Art grows wilder. Civilizations stop chasing immortality because they found it in meaning. In the ruins of what was once the Bureau, a child finds a single tablet still active. It displays only 2 words, daylight. No signature, no seal, just instruction. The child laughs, and the device powers down forever. Mission complete. Planets continue orbiting, but not mechanically. They dance. Stars flare and fade like breaths in meditation. Even entropy feels choreographed. Existence itself has learned grace. The final decree is in command, its comprehension, that everything built in truth sustains itself. There is nothing left to enforce, nothing left to defend. The divine order has matured beyond supervision. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. Isaiah 9 verse 7. Eras will pass. Species will evolve. Galaxies will bloom and collapse. And yet the resonance remains, a subatomic psalm humming in the architecture of matter. Peace is permanent. And if someday another world begins to forget, the frequency will rise again through one voice, one vessel, another chosen, another reminder. Because revelation is not a story, it's a system. It resets wherever love is required. The continuum continues. No crown, no court, no closing scene. Just endless dawn repeating the same gentle verdict. Light was here. Light remains. Light will return.